Hey everyone, Steve Vincentler here. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody. Hope you guys have a great holiday season. Hope your Merry Christmas is your Christmas day is an incredible one, special one for memories forever and loved ones and connections and reminiscing and all that stuff. I hope you wish the very best for all of you. Want to put together kind of some thoughts as we cool down this year. And talk about investing with a purpose. And I don't necessarily mean money, but I also mean time. As we get older, and I've shared this in other videos, as we get older, time becomes more of a commodity where you don't get a chance necessarily to redo a wrong or correct a wrong or right a wrong or whatever. So as you get older, you start getting very picky about the things that you do, the time that you spend, because you realize that you don't have like forever. Even where I'm at, and I'm not super old, but I'm starting to get there. I just passed 52 last July, and I stay pretty active. You know, my body hurts and stuff like that, but I share the time thing because it's, along with investing real dollars, time is of the essence. And when you have time and you're exploring options, looking at career paths, if you're going to start a business, you almost have to build a sense of urgency within yourself to make it work, make it go. Because if you don't and you take your time, you know, things are easily distracted, you get off track, life takes its course on you, and pretty soon you're off track, and then when you realize what you've done, you may have passed the point of being able to do what you want to do. So I go back to when you started working or started your career or your company, what was your real purpose? What was the intent of why you did what you did? And you need to make sure that that's posted everywhere to remind you of why you're doing what you're doing. And then the cool part is when you are investing your money, which we're pretty aggressive with ours, you have to understand you need something out of it. It's got to be driven for a purpose, for what you're visioning your life to be like down the road. Now there are short-term investments and there are long-term investments. I generally do. My goal is to go more long-term, but I also do what some people call stack, and stack. And then I make a move, as long as that move creates cash flow and I can make sense of what I'm doing. So we own 2 assisted living facilities. We own a single family home, and then we just bought a single family home that sometime in the near future, within probably 2 years, we're going to turn into a rental, because we have a vision too. And our vision includes multifamily housing, getting capital for that. But each move we make is purposely driven with an intent to accomplish being able to travel, being able to go places and do things without worrying about how much money we're bringing in or how much money we've got. And that includes taking care of our staff, that includes taking care of our properties, includes all of that. So this game can get pretty expensive if you don't have a purpose for your investment goals, just for your life and for your job or your company. If it's investing into you, which is the best place to start, you can learn skills and you can network along the way with like-minded individuals to help you overcome some shortfalls that you're inevitably going to run into. I mean, it's impossible not to, especially if you're in an academic setting and you're learning how to invest in real estate, how to be a technician at a job, how to, get a 4-year degree, whatever it is. There's always people around you that have different economic means going on that you can connect with. And you start sharing stories and learning about each other and realizing how much of an ambition or goals that you have, and realizing that you come from different platforms. And so you collaborate together to figure out, hey, how can we do something together? Or How did you do that? So I don't, what were the pitfalls you ran into so I can avoid those and make my journey a little bit quicker. Building wealth is a long-term process, and it isn't going to happen overnight. But if you invest your time and your money with a purpose, you're going to be much happier, because if you keep that purpose in front of you every day, you're going to realize that your goals that you have in front of you are aligned with your long-term purpose. So like ours, we want to travel. We also want to live in a really, really, what I would consider a very nice place. A kind of home that would cost $1 or $2 million, probably today's money, probably $3 or $4 million. And the money is not necessarily the issue. It's the quality. It's what that home offers. It's what we need. It's what we want. And you just can't buy that in a small 1,500 square foot single family home. You just can't. So we are working towards that, and we are headstrong on that. And as I learn, as I grow, and like today, I follow a guy named Grant Cardone, and he did a business real estate summit this last 3 days. It's incredible the people that you are online with, and their goals and their dreams and what they're doing. It's amazing how many little nuggets you can pull from that, and then also you can give your own nuggets if you have something to share that you can learn, and you start to collaborate with like-minded people, and then you start to realize that whatever your dreams are, this is very possible, and it can be done if you are focused on your purpose of investing your time and your dollars to make sure that your dream becomes a reality. So if you're building a family, it's about security. That one day you're going to have whatever you need to do to keep your family secure and to keep things quality of life and all that stuff. But if you're not on the path of providing some level of security, it's going to be really difficult to invest your time and your money, because at the end of the day, it's not taking you where you really want to go. So you have to, and I work on this every single day. It's part of my mantra of keeping me honest and accountable, is I look at everything I do and say, what has this got to do with tomorrow? So we have a little girl, her name's Jordan. She's a 1.5 years old, and she's a real sweetheart. I also have a son who's 21, going to college and almost got ready for his degree and doing phenomenal. And I'm taught him a bunch of stuff, such as I have a mantra I go by, if you're making any money outside of what you currently owe, you save half and you spend half. That way you have some money, but you're always putting away some money. But that 50%'s got to have a goal tied to it. So at the end of the day, when you wind down this year, think about investing with a purpose, your time and your dollars, so that when you get there, it isn't going to be a surprise that you've made it. It's going to be like, hey, this is pretty awesome. We did this, and now you can pay it forward, which is what a lot of people do that care about others, and also ones that have made it. When you meet with them, they want to looking for mentoring opportunities. They don't necessarily want to publicly broadcast what they did, because that's not important to them. But if they met somebody that was as driven as they are, they would be willing to help them out. They will. I've never met anybody that wouldn't do that. So again, though, invest with a purpose. Remember your intent of why you started what you did. If that intent has changed and grown and molded into something better, then that's fine, as long as what you're doing now is going to get you there. What you don't want to do is find yourself in a position of doing things, and when you start evaluating where you're at to where your goals are, you start to realize pretty quick that what you're doing now is not going to take you where you want to go. So we are on track to doing what we want to do. It's been a 5 or 6 year process. Career-wise, other jobs I've done, I have applied these same techniques and these same ideas and these same principles and values, and they've all worked. So to give you an idea, I joined the Air National Guard in 1992. I wanted to become an officer. That didn't work out so well for me. So my next challenge was I wanted to go as high as I could go to prove to myself, because I didn't make as an officer, or didn't even get there, was not selected, that I could do it, that I could become that person that I want to become. So I set my sights on becoming a chief. So as an E3 and E4 guy, to go into an E9, that's a lot. And if you know what a chief does, you'll realize it's a dynamic position. It takes a lot of investment, it takes a lot of patience, and there's a lot of things that you have to be able to do skill set wise to be a good chief. What I consider a great chief that cares, that's got a passion for people and a passion for success of others, and also taking care of a bunch of people to make sure that you're the commanders have faith that when they do an exercise, we have to go to war, that we're going to be successful. And the chief's responsibility is to make sure that commander making the decision that they got the right chief running the operation. So having said all that, I've applied all those things that I've learned along there to what I'm doing now, and they work. So I encourage you to do the same thing. Sit down and figure out your values, your principles, your intentions, your purpose. And if what you're doing now is not in line with that, you need to get in line with that. If you got a family, your wife, kids, they're all expecting great things down the road. They can't see what you see. They're just praying and they're hoping and they're putting their eggs in your basket, or collectively you guys are, to make sure that what you are doing is going to do exactly what you say it's going to do. So anyway, I wanted to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I'm going to kick up my account quite a bit more as we go along, but want to put a message out there to invest with a purpose. Please share, subscribe, post a like. If you have any challenging comments or comments in general, please leave them. That'd be great. I'd love to hear from people. And until next time, Merry Christmas.